Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. Room to run past midfield. 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. LeGarrette Blount, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions are going to take a first quarter lead. The very first play from scrimmage, how about that? Talk about setting a tone.
And people always talk about doing exactly that in the first 5 minutes of the game, the first offensive and defensive series. Who's going to gain an advantage? Well, we saw exactly what happened there. The tone was definitely set by the offensive team.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It's Sylvester Williams there to bring him down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 18 yards there and a first down.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
The numbers on the ground for McKinnon last week. 11 carries, 104 yards.
Well, they set a nice tone in week 1. He's among the leading rushers in the league. I think that they continue to feed him the football and continue to establish the running game so they can get the play action and throw the ball deep later on.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Garoppolo on first down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. A'Shawn Robinson coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second, eluding the pressure right. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Catch made right side by Wilson. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding, offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From the gun, here's Stafford. Completes it to Blount. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Fielded at about the 28. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Niners will go on offense, first and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Quandre Diggs there defensively. That's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. On the toss, it's McKinnon. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he's going to be marked down deep in Detroit territory. It's a big play there from a big play guy, Jerick McKinnon, 49 yards. The ultimate speedster, showing that speed in front of this home crowd. They love that.
Made me stand up on that run because right now all I want to do is wave to the crowd. More noise, more noise. You got to reward it for that one. A big-time monster run.
Here's McKinnon. Showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it second and 4. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. Looking for Garcon. He's got it. Touchdown 49ers. Pierre Garcon, his second touchdown on the season. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Gold with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. Then he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 38. Stafford on 1st down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. So possession changes hands on the final play of the first quarter. 7-all is the score. They take over 1st and 10 following the interception. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Forced out to his left. He's got it at the 15. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Now McKinnon. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Here again is McKinnon. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to bounce that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead, it works opposite.
It's a loss of 2, now third down. Now that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Third and long, it's Stafford. This is Riddick on the screen. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's fourth down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Fielded at the 20. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. There's Garoppolo to throw, and that is incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin, and it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early games in Week 2.
You think he questioned coming back for Week 2, having to work with us?
I think he did. He's just happy that he is far away in Orlando. Here's a look at Golden Tate as he heads back onto the field now. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried. Because a lot of times, that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Again, here's Blount. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Nick Ballore coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers. We now proceed to the start of the second half. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that.
White. 6. 11. Yes.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Garoppolo to Goodwin there for a 49er first.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They run it with McKinnon. And he's got some space here. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They run once more with McKinnon. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. So 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
By 20. 180. I'm here all day. 11. Yes.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
McKinnon. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his first touchdown of the new season. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Gold now out to kick it away. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They just yielded a touchdown on the other end. Now they'll be trying to answer the bell and get a score of their own.
It's their opportunity to match. Can they do exactly what they just saw happen to them? Go down the field and score a touchdown. And to me, the best way to do it, look at your play sheet coordinator and call plays for guys that make the best plays for you. Go to the guys that you know can get the ball down to the end zone.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. The Lions on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Malcolm Smith in there to drop it for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
An update from down in L.A. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Sam Bradford, 2 touchdown passes to lead the way. The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. Second down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
20, 6.
Garoppolo now. And that's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. To throw is Garoppolo. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Here's Stafford now on second down. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. The Lions on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Holding offense.
Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On 2nd and 10, Stafford to the right and complete to Golladay. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The quick slant, good for a 1st down, a gain of 12.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Back to throw, Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. Going for the deep ball. And that is incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Sometime in this fourth quarter, someone on defense is going to have to step up and force a turnover.
Here we go. 180!
Now a handoff looking right. Fighting him off. And he's got room. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Staying on his feet, and incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
180! 180! 11!
Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
6!
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo being chased out left. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Detroit getting set to go now. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They have their...
And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic 1st down.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Here we go.
Now they try the right side here. He's still barreling through. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Garoppolo looking to throw. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Here we go.
Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. Flushed out right. Finding room to the 20. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver, and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Oh, that was dangerous. Throw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal: win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the 49ers, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take